Hello and welcome to Cretaceous Cantina, where today we're having a look at the Mattel Jurassic World Battle Damage Albertosaurus. In the US, this is a Walmart exclusive. It retails at $19.97. If you watched my latest episode of Toy Hunting Adventures, then you know that I picked this up at a local Walmart and was ecstatic to find it because ever since images first came out online, I think it was back in October last year, I thought that this was a spectacular looking figure, and the one thing that for early 2019 I was most excited about from Mattel's Jurassic World line. So let's talk packaging. I really like the aesthetic that Mattel has created in partnership with Universal for the 2019 Battle Damage segment. I just think that it looks very vibrant. I really like the clean Jurassic World logo at the upper left. The orange, the yellow, it just really grabs your attention in the toy aisle. I like how it shows you the battle damage there so that you can try it before you buy it. At the bottom, very nice render of Rexy. You get the battle damage scratches right below the nameplate and the battle damage logo at the far right. At the back, you get some really nice artwork there, very nice render of the Albertosaurus. Quite airbrushed, of course, and it shows you how to activate the double battle damage, and I'm really looking forward to showing you how that works because it's quite awesome. At the lower left, other items available in the Jurassic World Battle Damage line for early 2019. Looks like they're going to be repacking Blue and the Sticky Moloch, and we are getting a new Pteranodon, as you can see. It says that if you get the Jurassic World Facts app, that there is compatibility between the app and this toy. And here's the bottom of the box, just in case you need any of that information. There's the UPC, and there is the batch number. You can see that there is an arrow back there as well, pointing towards the directions which are kept underneath that flap. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time, get the Albertosaurus unboxed. When we come back, we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's the Albertosaurus out of the packaging, and I am very impressed with the sculpt. Now, generally speaking, Mattel has done a very nice job with sculpting their dinosaurs for this Jurassic World toy line, but this takes it to a whole other level, and that has me especially excited to see what else is in store for 2019, because if even some of their dinosaurs have such nice sculpts in the coming year, then there's going to be a lot to be excited about. And I'm thinking about things like that Brachiosaurus and the other new species that are going to be coming as we move through the year. The only thing I can really say here is that on first glance, the tail does look a little bit short. It doesn't look very proportionate to the rest of the body. But as far as everything else goes, I do think that it looks very nice. I love the stance that it's in. It's very neutral pose, just kind of like it's strolling along. From every angle, really, I just think that it looks quite great. Again, that sculpted detail is pretty amazing. I do have a couple gripes with the coloration as well, but we'll get into all that. First, let's take a close-up look at the head sculpt. Alright, so again, this just really stands out for me as something very unique to the Mattel Jurassic line. This is a phenomenally well done head sculpt. I mean, it's just so very detailed. All the texturing going on here, the pebbling in the skin, the little horns along the back of its neck, the osteoderms. It's a gorgeous looking head sculpt. I mean, truly a gorgeous looking sculpt. And I like how they incorporated all of the little scales and details there along the jaws and the snout, the hollows here at the front and around the eye. It's maybe a little bit shrink wrapped, but it looks terrific nonetheless. Just no matter how we angle that, I mean, it's a fabulous looking head. I like how the eyes are basically this orange color with a little black pupil. I think that's a really nice way to have gone about it. And the colors here are very nicely blended. I really like this maroon sort of color. And then, you have this more olive green, and then that transitions into this yellowish cream color here on the neck, kind of like an ivory cream color. On the jaw, it looks nice. It's a nice way to differentiate the top and lower jaw. And then the blending right here on the neck is very, very nice. You see there's a really nice gradient going on there. And that carries into the rest of the body, which is also very nicely done. Again, the texturing and all the sculpted detail is beautifully accomplished. Proportionately, this looks fantastic. The arms, you can see that it's a little bit swole looking with the muscles and such. They didn't paint the claws here for the fingers. Not the end of the world. But it is notable. And then the legs, you can see that the feet aren't oversized like they are in some of these Mattel Jurassic dinos. They're actually very proportionate to the rest of the body. And I think that's a huge plus here. It just looks really, really nice. Looks like there is a little bit of white paint here on the left claw right there. A little bit of white paint there. Maybe I'll be able to get that off. But it's just a gorgeous sculpt. Like I said, the tail is a little bit short. I think it should be a little bit thicker back here and then maybe transition to a little bit more of a narrow sort of look. But this is a little bit too narrow, I would say. I mean, not the end of the world. It's still a gorgeous looking dinosaur, but that is probably my biggest issue with it. Now, my other issue with it is that there is no paint on the belly. And the really gorgeous looking paint you have here on the front does not carry down through the back. I think if they would have continued this all the way down into the tail, and then on the belly carried this cream color all the way down to the tail as well, it could have been a lot better. I mean, like I said, it's a beautiful dinosaur. It's one of Mattel's best sculpts. And in terms of colors and paint, from the front part of it, I think it is one of the best. But then when you get back here, it kind of falls apart a little bit for me because you don't have those colors. And I'm sure that was done for budgetary reasons and such. But it is notable that it just kind of falls a little bit short once you get back here. That doesn't take away from how beautiful the sculpt is and how nice it looks. But I do got to mention that. And again, those legs are sculpted very nicely. And even though it is a little bit small, the tail is sculpted very nicely as well. Now on the right hip, you do have your battle damage. So that what they did is they sculpted these gashes in its hip, and then they painted it like a blood red color with some gloss. And that looks really cool. I'm glad they didn't just take the dino and just paint red on it. They actually sculpted it, and the cuts look really nice and really detailed. I also like that they dialed it back. They didn't paint anything on this side or sculpt anything on this side for battle damage. They kept it pretty simple, and I gotta say that I appreciate that, especially because if you don't want to see that, all you have to do is turn the dinosaur around and it's gone. As you can see, the claws are painted on the feet, and they do have a little bit of gloss applied to them, so they're basically like a dark gray color. If you're doing the Jurassic World Facts app, there is the scan code right there. And as far as articulation goes, this is another area in which this toy shines. So here at the neck, we have a ball hinge. So you can go down, you can go up. That's about as high as you're going to get it. You can rotate it. And that is very nice. You can make it look to the side or to the other side. To a lesser extent, I think it goes more to the left than it does to its right, very slightly. But that is really nice having that ball hinge there. Here at the jaw, you have a very stiff jaw joint. So pull down on that. And once you get it open, you can see that it has a very Pepto-Bismol pink tongue. The roof of the mouth is also painted the same color. There is some sculpted details you can see, and the teeth look pretty nice. I do kind of wish the teeth were a little bit more differentiated from the lower jaw, because you can see they are very similar, not identical, but very similar color. And they do get kind of lost when you have the mouth open. You don't really notice it when it's closed, but when it's open, you do see that. For both of the forelimbs, they're on a swivel. No insert molded joints on this one, but you can swivel them back and forth. And again, stiff joints. Here at the legs, we still have the same sort of joints we had in the past. So you can open them out and then move them forward, move them back. And they are ratcheted, so they do kind of click in place. Both of the ankles are on swivels, so you can rotate them as well. And here at the tail, you also have a ball joint, so you can move that up a little bit, down a little bit, and you can rotate it a little bit. It is a very stiff joint, and you can go side to side and up and down, so that is pretty nice. All right, now let's talk about the double battle damage on the Albertosaurus. This is really cool. So like with the $10 price point battle damage dinos, we have a little sliding door right there. So what I like to do is just push it in. And when you do that, you reveal its innards. You can see its ribs. And they look very nice. They're basically like a bone color. It just has a really pretty look to it. Press it again. And then those pop up and you reveal its guts. Its pink guts. I guess that'd be like its stomach or its liver or who knows. But what's also cool is that when you press on it, it kind of feels like chewed up bubble gum. It's very squishy. I like that. This is hugely innovative. You just pull those bones down like this. You can hear it kind of click in place. Grab the little notch right there and swing that back up and it is closed. I absolutely love that. This is by far the coolest dino damage concept that I have seen, not only from Mattel, but I gotta admit, they did it better than Kenner did, because even though I love Kenner and grew up with their Jurassic Park toys, it was always easy to lose those little dino damage pieces. Thankfully, I never did, but I could see how you could lose them very easily. This one's up what Kenner did because, you have the door, you have the bones, and then you have the guts, and the guts feel really awesome. So I gotta give props to Mattel for innovating the dino damage and battle damage concept with this toy, because they really furthered how much fun battle damage can be. Here's a comparison of the Albertosaurus along with the Bite and Fight Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you can see that the T-Rex is quite a bit bigger than the Albertosaurus. But the Albertosaurus is still pretty sizable, because when we bring in the Mercenary, you can see that the Albertosaurus towers over this puny little human. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Mattel Jurassic World Battle Damage Albertosaurus. Overall, you guys, I think this is a very special dinosaur, and I think so for a couple of reasons. First of all, it has gotten pretty universal praise across the board because of how awesome it looks. The sculpt here is absolutely phenomenal, easily one of Mattel's best. I would say this is a top 5 dinosaur for the Mattel Jurassic World line. And number 2, the way that they approach the battle damage concept is just very innovative here. I love the double damage. It works very well, it looks awesome, and it's fun to poke at those squishy guts. I just gotta admit, something fun about that. Sure, the tail is a little bit on the short side, and yes, the paint should have extended down its back and down its belly. So it's not a perfect item, but it is as close as you might expect from a mass-produced toy line from a company like Mattel, so I really got to give them props here. It also offers something very unique to the battle damage segment. It is the only item in battle damage at the $20 price point, so there's something to be said for that as well. I hope that we see more battle damage dinosaurs at the $20 price point because I would love to see a battle damage Stegosaurus or a battle damage Triceratops, or more importantly, a new species like the Albertosaurus that we haven't gotten in the regular Jurassic World or Dino Rivals lines. I also really like the way they sculpted the battle damage on its right hip and didn't go overboard by painting red all over its body. They kept it really focused, and I'm glad that they put it on the side that has the double damage because logically that makes a lot of sense. Awesome item. I hope that everybody gets a chance to pick this one up because it's a phenomenal release and I absolutely love it. Alright my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. What is your favorite thing about the battle damage Albertosaurus? Be sure to like and subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and as always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Cretaceous Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.